The headlines: Chinese company keen to invest in Ethiopia. IMF staff team in Ethiopia to conduct economic growth assessment. Hello and welcome. This is OBN Amanur Kali with the news. It is Voice for the People. China National Textile and Apparel Council, a large-scale textile company, has expressed its interest to invest in Ethiopia. And President of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Dr. Mulatu Teshome, has held discussion with a delegation composed of 52 members led by President of the company, So Roger, on issues of investment opportunities in the country. Olma Baina had the story.
Chinese textile apparel leading company keen to invest in Ethiopia. China National Textile and Apparel Council, a large-scale textile company, has expressed its interest to invest in Ethiopia. President Mulatu Teshome has held a discussion with a delegation composed of 52 members led by President of the company, San Rouge, on issues of investment opportunities in the country. After the discussion, President of China National Textile Apparel Company, San Rouge, said he came to Ethiopia to conduct a feasibility study on large-scale textile investments.
China and Ethiopia has a long history of friendship and economic cooperations. So this time I bring a very large-scale textile delegation to Ethiopia.
He stated that the delegation is encouraged not only for the trade relation of Ethiopia with Europe and USA, but also by the potential labor resources and the availability of raw cotton in the country. According to Protocol and Communication Director at the Presidential Office, Ashabir Getana said President Mulatu Teshome briefed the delegation on the existing peace and stability in the country, as well as investment opportunities in various areas including textile and apparel sector. Ashabir added the government will provide every necessary support and incentives to investors who want to engage in the manufacturing sector. The government prioritizes textile and apparel industry in GTP2 plan as one of the foundation in the efforts of transition from agriculture to industry. The delegation visited Awasa Industrial Park as part of feasibility study and expected to discuss with senior government officials. Low cost of energy, labor resources, as well as other package of incentives by the government to make them attractive, it was learned. According to Ashabir, China National Textile and Apparel Council, which has 3,000 members, is currently investing in various countries.
Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Dr. Abiy Ahmed, says people of the country should work in unison to sustain the already gained political changes, peace and security in the country.
We have struggled for long years, but we didn't win. We also had a winning mindset. Source of our failure was our division. When victory comes, different groups come and claim it. This happens due to lack of understanding source of victory. Oromo people was victorious, but at the same time Oromo people were despised, tortured and imprisoned. Now it has paid sacrifices and get victory. What Oromo elites and youth should do is to reassess whether they are acting as winners should act. We shouldn't use the same strategy after victory. Now we should calm down and work to change our region and the country in a strategic way using this opportunity. We should get rid of emotional acts and strengthen our unity. We shouldn't repeat our previous mistakes.
The Premier has also clarified that his unity philosophy, or Madamar, it is a part of synergy. According to him, a unity doesn't mean denying own identity.
If we unite and work together, we can bring great change. Some people are misunderstanding the term unity. When we say we should be united, we are not saying we should deny our identity. We are not struggling to take identity of others, denying our identity. The unity we are talking about is like that of water. Water has two elements, hydrogen and oxygen. When we take hydrogen, it is fuel. Oxygen is fire-inflaming reactor. When they unite, they extinguish the fire. They save life, facilitate life for creatures. The unity we are saying is this one. We should bring what we have and put it together, then make something better from it.
The issue of flag is creating crisis recently in the country. Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed said the issue of flag should be presented to the public discussion so that the public decides its interest.
Alabani, yadake, fedike, kan siyasan ibsachuu barbaaddu karaatti ibsitu qodha. Alabaa duwwaa osoo hin ta'in inni kaan jechaan ibsa, inni kaan barreeffamaan ibsa, inni kaan sirbaan ibsa, inni kaan alaabaan ibsa. Dubbiin alaabaa yeroo fudhannee akkuma ilaalcha keenya sana uummatatti ibsinee bara isaatti yeroo isaatti uummanni murteeffachuu danda'a.
Flag is one way of expressing our political view. Actually, you can express your view with words, writing, song, and others. And others would express it with flag. We should take time and present it to the public like other political views, and the public can decide it. We have no standard. There is one and only one flag is good for Ethiopia. America flag has been changed 13 times. Our flag could also be changed, but it shouldn't be through imposing on the public. We can't do that. If we present our idea to the public and the public discussed and changed it, no problem. It is not important to kill a person or destroy property for this reason. What we are saying is, let us get rid of politics of killing each other.
The
IGAD heads of state and government held its 33rd extraordinary session at the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa in Finfinne City. In his opening remark, Ethiopia's Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed, who is also chairperson of IGAD, said it had been convened after Ethiopia and Eritrea and Djibouti, and Sudan and Eritrea had been reconciled and started the processes of normalization and rapprochement. Aklu Gabru had the story.
IGAD heads of state and government have held its 33rd extraordinary summit here in Finfinne City. On the event, South Sudanese warring parties have signed a peace agreement to end 5 years of civil war. Speaking at the signing ceremony, Chairman of IGAD, Ethiopian Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed appreciated the move to end human suffering.
Maturity and leadership will be tested on how you handle any such differences. We should not always fall back into conflict and war for every disagreement that arises among the political leaders. However strong your differences, you must not allow a single drop of blood to be spilled and lives to be lost due to your inability to compromise.
Dr. Abiy added that the South Sudanese peace agreement has been realized at the right time while the entire East Africa region is celebrating magnificent achievement of peace and reconciliation. Dr. Abiy urged the two South Sudanese conflicting parties to implement the agreement without any hesitation.
Indeed, IGAD's support to aspiration of the people of South Sudan for peace and their yearning for inclusive democracy is unwavering. Words fail me to suitably express my sense of happiness as we will witness the signing of the revised agreement of the resolution of the conflict in South Sudan.
United Nations and African Union Commission representatives for their part appreciated the peace accord and expressed their readiness to support in all aspects.
I can assure you all here today that UNMISS stands ready to support genuine peace building and reconciliation activities as they emerge in the future negotiations. But to do so, we need to be included in the process going forward.
They also admired the leadership of Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed, who has brought peace and stability to the region.
Mr. Prime Minister, today more than ever, we witness major development in the Horn of Africa, thanks to your personal efforts and that of your colleagues in the region. And South Sudan should benefit from this dynamic and embrace a durable peace for the good of its people.
IGAD has been striving to bring sustainable peace, prosperity, and economic integration across the region.
South Sudan, the youngest nation on earth, that got independence from the Sudan in 2011. Some founding members of the Oromo People Democratic Organization, or PDO, noted that the organization should pass key decisions about the Oromo people and its struggle at the upcoming 9th organizational conference to be held in Jimma town. Let us trace out the story.
Founders of Oromo People's Democratic Organization, or PDO, urged the organization to struggle for the right of country ownership and respect of rule of law, what they said was its foundational objective.
Oromo makajed ilman Oromo kayo to kokap. Kayo ni sabi bilisuma bi yabaw fit berbad. Kayo birang kap. Opinions kayo sa santur.
All Oromo children have one goal, that is the freedom of their country. Other than this, there is no any other agenda. The aim of the OPDO was also this one, that is the right to self-determination. Then, after ensuring sustainable peace, building a country which is ruled by rule of law comes.
They emphasized that OPDO has contributed a lot to achieve the already obtained victory.
OPDO has passed through serious ups and downs. The leaders that are expected to achieve the interests of the public should consider the paid sacrifices. It is also time to work with high initiation so as to achieve what the public needs.
OPDO has laid down a base for the success of current struggle, playing its role over the past decades. Although there are so many challenges, OPDO has played key role in achieving the freedom of the public through making internal and external struggle. The founders have also recommended that the Oromo People's Democratic Organization should pass major decisions during the upcoming 9th organizational summit.
Leaders of the organization that are making preparation for the upcoming summit should clearly identify the key problems of Oromo people. The party should pass key resolutions and assign the organ which accomplishes that mission.
The role of OPDO is pillar in the current reform. Its role was key from the very beginning, though it didn't play its maximum role. But now, it is playing a major role. It is able to create world-class leadership.
Members of the organization who are expected to attend the conference should hold clear stand on the questions of the Oromo people. Its solutions should also be set clearly.
Founders of the OPDO pointed out that the organization ought to hold talks along with Oromo contesting political parties, stressing the significance of unity.
Even though there are numerous political points of view, every people and party should work for these people getting united. OPDO by itself should strengthen them.
Oromo political parties need to list and announce their respective programs, including OPDO. Then they should identify their differences. If there is no difference of policy, why so many parties are needed? As much as possible, they have to merge, or at least be 2 or 3 parties.
OPDO is a ruling political party in Oromia since 1991, and its chairperson is the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Dr. Abiy Ahmed, and vice chairperson is President of the Oromia Region State, Lamma Magarsa. A prominent Oromo political analyst of course, who is also a political scientist and Director General of the Oromia Media Network, Jawar Mohammed, said Oromo political parties should have one stance to challenge the powers that are working to destroy the federal system. He also thanked the Keros, the Oromo youth, and the wider public for ensuring peace and security of the region. Mukhtar Haji had the story.
Activist and Director General for Oromia Media Network, Jawar Mohammed, announced that Oromo People's Democratic Organizations and other contesting parties should work than ever before for common interest of the country.
Leading the public means to understand things first. It also means taking over issues entertained by contesting political parties and others. It is a part of setting agendas and influencing others. In this regard, I have been observing incapability of ruling the ruling. In this regard, I have been observing incapability of the ruling party and different contesting political parties in Ethiopia.
Jawar said the next election of Ethiopia would be taking place between two parties, the Unionist and Federalist. He said the Democratic Party should work to its maximum levels along with the public support being guided by strategies.
The two independent parties would compete with each other in the election ahead. The Federalists and the Unionists. The Federalist Party that struggles to realize the rights of nations and nationalities and the rights of self-governance. The Unionist Party is going to appear with the idea of one flag, one language, and one identity to all nations in the country. So, in such struggle, the Federalist Party would have to be champion of the election ahead while working hard along with the people.
Jawar underscored that the idea of Unionist Party would have no long journey in Ethiopia.
The
idea of the Unionist Party has hindered the development of this country for a long time before. It shall work no more in Ethiopia hereafter. Nations and nationalities of this country should bargain what they deserve to entertain the federal system of the government. Yeah, our reporters from Afan Oromo newsroom, Kalu Bakala and Lamma Tiye, talked to Jawar Mohammed, this activist who was working from Minnesota, struggling against the government for many years. An International Monetary Fund, IMF staff team led by Mr. Julio Escalano arrived in Finniss City to conduct assessment on Ethiopia's economic growth in the year 2018. The team will conduct this assessment until September 27, 2018, according to the Ministry of Finance and Economic Operation of Ethiopia. It will evaluate performances of the economy, fiscal policy, finance, and external sectors, the ministry said. At the end, the team will present a draft report on the assessment to policymakers, it was noted, FBC website reported. Yeah, you have been watching OBN with me, Anwar Khalil, live coming to you from Adama, Oromia, Ethiopia. Thank you for watching. Have a good time.